Hey campers, welcome to today's track and field session. Our focus today is stretching. We're going to spend all of our time working on stretching, which is really important to do at the end of any workout or meet or practice or game that you have. Your body's at its most flexible opportunity, so we want to work at its most flexible time to increase your flexibility. And we're so fortunate today to be joined by Aspen. In 2018 in cross country and All-American. In 2019 in indoor and outdoor track and field, she was a 4-time NAIA All-American. And then 2020 was just unbelievable, awesome, spectacular, every adjective you could ever think of for Aspen at the 2020 Indoor NAIA National Meet, which was the one indoor national championship run in track and field this year. Aspen was the national champion in the NAIA in the 1 kilometer, the mile, the 4x800 meter relay, and the distance medley relay. And she was also the national runner-up in the 5 kilometer, which is 3.1 miles. All of that, and that helped Huntington University's women win the first national championship, first NAIA national championship in the history of the school, and they did it in women's indoor track and field in 2020. And Aspen's going to take us through a bunch of stretches.
Hi, so we're going to start with like upper body. So I like to do the stretch where you just bring your arm out front and kind of hug your arm. You just kind of hold it for about 10 seconds. You can just count. Then you can switch to the other one. I do this all for about 10 seconds, 15 seconds, however long you're feeling, just enough to get a good stretch. Then I like to pull your arm over your shoulder and kind of grab your elbow, kind of like this. And you can switch to the other side. It's always good to breathe during it. And then you can do some neck rolls. You might be able to hear my neck crack while I'm doing them. Do the other way. One of my favorite stretches is to just take your head and put it to your chin. Or your chin to your chest, that's what I meant, my bad. And you can roll your back a little bit too, just to make it more of a stretch. Like this. Another one you can do is you can go to one foot. You just bend down and touch your toes. You can go to the other side. You can do cross your leg in front, bend down and touch your toes. And you can switch to the other leg. If you feel something that is a really good stretch, you should keep doing it and hold it a little bit longer than the rest of them. That is what I definitely recommend. Hold on, let me fix this really quick, sorry. Another one would be an IT stretch. So that is your band that goes from here to here. So you can cross your legs over and kind of put your hand on your opposite hip and just lean until you feel a stretch. It's definitely a good one to stretch. You can also do it next to a wall, where you put your arm on the wall and then you cross your leg and you dip your hip into the wall. And then you can do the other side, same way. Just make sure you put your hip towards the wall. You're mainly just standing on your inside leg. So the other leg you don't even really have to have there, it just is there for stability. So one of my favorite ones is the figure 4. So I like to just sit here in the figure 4 and then just grab your toes and just pull yourself. If you can't reach it, just go to your ankle, but if not, grab your foot and pull yourself down. You can switch to the other one. For my hurdle friends, you could do it with your foot back, and you can practice stretching this way as well. It's also a good stretch even if you're not a hurdler. All right, then there's the most famous butterfly where you put your feet together and you can press your legs down with your arms and kind of bend with your back, kind of breathing into it. Then there, you can do it with resistance, so you can push down with your elbows and then push up with your legs, and it stretches a little bit of the other side of your legs. Then we could do the pretzel, where some people like to sit like this and put their elbow and push over as they turn. I like to hug my leg. Either way is good. This way you can get more of a back stretch. I don't feel like it stretches my leg as much. But this way I feel like stretching my IT band a lot. You can do that for both sides. Both ways. Some hip flexors, which a lot of people struggle with, are like this muscle here. There are a lot of different stretches you can do for that. And one of them includes just putting your leg forward and just lunging forward essentially. So you just kind of stretch forward. Go the other leg. There's also some yoga moves that you can do, which is basically essentially the same thing, where you kind of sit in this position with your hands forward. You kind of just bring your leg back, just put your foot up, and your foot's kind of close to your hand. If you have to adjust your body, you can. And it's easiest if you relax while you're trying to stretch, which can sound hard, but you just have to relax while you stretch. And you can see that like the more you relax, the more your body goes into the stretch. Right now I'm going to grab a rope, and I like to stretch the backs of my arms. So I like to pull it behind. You can move your arms or move it wherever, just so I can have a nice stretch. I kind of like to move it back and forth. You can do it this way as well. This way. However. You can also do this with like a pole or something. And if you do not have a rope, you could have an extension cord. You can use basically anything. Anything that is hard and will not bend, essentially. So don't use like a bungee cord, but you can use like a ratchet strap or some string, but like thick string, rope, whatever. So that is one stretch I like to do. And then a lot of them, I do them on the ground. So one of them is you just wrap the rope around your foot, try to put it around the mid of your foot, and you just pull your leg up and kind of go and just hold it up here or for a couple seconds, obviously. And you can put it back down. I like to resist it as it goes down, just a little bit, and then go back up and do it again. And then there's one to the side. You can do the other side. This one's a little more tricky because this one's kind of over your body. You're going to try to keep your bottom foot up, even though it's kind of hard, and your upper body all laying on the ground. So even if you get your foot like here, that's okay, but you're trying to get it as low as possible. You do the same thing for the other side. other side. Remember, try to keep your other foot kind of straight and your back on the ground as much as possible. You also can do it with a bent knee. That kind of stretches more of your calf, I feel like. And obviously the bent knee stretch because I'm shaking really bad while doing it.
Now, are you pushing on that rope with your foot as you're
Yes,
pulling?
a little bit. Yes, I'm pushing just a little bit with my foot as I'm stretching as well. Do the same thing with the other foot. Just put a little bit of a bent knee and kind of push with your foot and find a nice stretch.
Look at this extension cord on your leg.
You're fine. I thought it was funny. All right, the next one is you kind of loop it around your foot, which this one I feel like is always hard to get into the position. So I kind of loop it around my foot exactly where it was last time, in the middle of my foot, and then I just kind of roll over, which is the hardest part, I feel like. So then you just take your foot and you pull it up. And you kind of just hold the rope as you pull your foot up. And that is another like hip flexor area stretch that is very helpful. And if you're really lucky, your foot can touch your head, but most people can't. And then you have to basically flip back over to put it on your other foot. It is very difficult. Then, last but not least, I like to stretch my ankles and calves. And I think that is very important. So I like to roll just my ankles. So I sit on my toes and I just do some ankle rolls both ways. And then a calf stretch is you can find a stair or just a wall. I like to stand on the stairs and stretch, where I just kind of, you put your foot off the edge and you just let your body weight kind of push off. You can do it with both legs or just one. And if you don't have a step or something like that, you can just put your foot on the wall and do it just the same, like that. And just kind of lean into it. Either way, it stretches your calves really well. That's all I got for you guys today.
All right. Thanks, Champ. It's hard. I was behind the camera. It's hard to know where I need to stand. So thanks, Champ. Campers, I hope you picked up a lot of great stretches today. Aspen gave you a lot of great ideas. I hope you paid attention. She 3 times mentioned about breathing and relaxing. That's how important it is. So she does it quite naturally on her own, but she made that point to you 3 times. It's something you need to try to incorporate as well as you're stretching. You found something new today, keep working on it, and you'll discover you'll become very flexible too. Maybe you'll become a national champion one day. Catch you later.
See ya.